This is the update featuring the Halcyon. Right here you can see her with all of her mounts alongside the other ships we have currently in the mod. So the focus on the Halcyon is going to be its triple Mac. So it is the exact same module as the other Macs where you have light Mac and regular Mac available. However, whenever you use light Mac rounds, there's a special bonus for the Halcyon hull that you will fire triple of these Halcyon shots whenever you load the light ammo in them. So it is a very cool homage to the Fall of Reach and the Pillar of Autumn herself. Alongside this, you have all these mounts and modules. I'll let you guys play with them and figure them out. Some of the coolest ones are these 8 VLS launchers here on the side, which can carry up to 8 S2s, and there's plenty more to mess with there. We also have the turrets reskinned, so we can look over here at the Leviathan a little bit closer. You can see our new 450 at the top, and then right here on the side we do have our new 250 mount, and then we have right over here the little new 120s. So these are all reskinned and textured to match the Halo ships. They are based off of Halopedia turrets, various ones across, the spectrum, but that is where we got the ideas for them from. So next we have, after that, we have probably one of the biggest parts of the update beyond the Halcyon themselves, is our new custom missile. So let's hop over there. So what we have here now is a new cluster missile update that is fully compatible with using vanilla missiles inside their clusters. So we made a new size 0 submunition to go inside our size 1 cluster missiles, but then you can also, yes, you can, Russian nesting doll these things and fit the size 0 inside a size 1 cluster, then put those size 1 clusters inside a size 2 cluster, and then put those size 2s inside a size 3 cluster. Yes, you can do that. Very fun. Highly recommend it. But on top of that, you can also load vanilla size 1, 2, and not 3 inside of our cluster missiles here. So that you can make some really fun stuff here. So the differentiation between the size 1 and size 0 is obviously much smaller. You only have 2 choices in terms of changing the size right there for the engine. They are very short range, but they're fast. So they're meant to be very quick and short range as the last ditch stage of your cluster missile. Typical regular HE impact, HEKP, and then blast fragmentation. If you want to do a cluster AMM, very possible, very useful. Normal direct or cruise guidance, we recommend direct because at 1200 maybe or less meters, you're not going to need to cruise on those. So you can try it, but recommend direct. And then you have these normal heads as well, since you're going to be so close anyways. If clusters or these size 0s, very susceptible to chaff, just like anyone else with radar. So you can use these because you're going to have a ton of them coming at them. Command received, if you're that close as well, is very possible. But if you really want to get technical, you can make an expensive EO. But typically we see most of these are going to be around 2 points is what we typically see for most of these piercers, or daggers, sorry. So that is size 0. And then we go to the size 1. This is where things get different. So you have your engine stage right here. You can shrink and expand just like normal. And what this will do, this will actually take into account all of the child munitions as well. So when you start loading up others, you'll see left side getting bigger and bigger. But here we have our specialty payload, and is a custom UI right here. So right off the bat, you can click this open and we can load some size 0s. You can see all the ones I've made here. We'll call the piercers is what I call them. So you can fill this guy up. That's about as many as you can have right now. And what you can also do, which is really new and cool, is you can choose how early you want these to stage. So this will stage at 100% of flight time, or if it can detect the target and projects the submunitions can hit it with the remaining fuel in the submunition. Or you can stage early if you want your clusters to separate early and fire out before they get to that destination. You can choose what percent of total flight time, meaning here, will be used for this stage. And then additionally, you can also, that's 0 to 100%. Separation distance as well will launch these out as closer as far as you want, from 1 to 200 meters from the center of where these cluster munition or cluster missile parent is. And then you have typical direct or cruise guidance as well as, command and fixed radar, all that kind of stuff. And these do, again, go all the way up to size 3s. So you can carry anything smaller inside of each of these. So you can carry size 2, size 1, size 0s, or vanillas. Can't carry a size 3 vanilla, you can size 2 and 1. You can also just shove a size 3 or size 2 full of a bunch of size 0s if you want. Totally possible. So there's lots and lots and lots of stuff to play with here. The nice balance is that they are using the vanilla point system, so they should be pretty on par with any vanilla missiles you build in terms of how the points work. So it's not OP. You're not going to be totally crushing people because, yes, you have an 82 point missile that could smack and kill a ship, with 40 piercers at HEKP. However, it could also be sniped by a Sarissa, and now you're 82, or, we'll call it, fixed active steerable with a EO. We'll make it fancy. 94 point missile is going to get sniped by a Sarissa with 2 shots, and it might die. So there's a trade-off. It's definitely worth it to play around with and have all these configurations to mess with. One thing to note is that decoy support modules are usually not optimal if installed directly on a cluster missile. They activate at the terminal phase of a flight of a missile, at which point the cluster missile will likely stage, destroying itself and the unlaunched decoys to launch its own submunitions. So we typically don't recommend that. And now let's hop into some in-game testing range and show them how they work. All right, so here's another look at our new turrets. We have the 250s right here, the 120s right here, and the 450s up the top, all based on Halopedia articles. And then here we have the Halcyon in all her glory with her specialized missile mounts there. They can also fit PD and a couple other small things as well, like EWAR, PD and EWAR. Right, so let's launch what I call the host. This is a size 2 cluster filled with size 1 clusters, filled with size 0 submunitions. So we'll launch a couple here. That was my bad. Let's see the size 2 cluster in action. Staging. And now we have size 1 clusters staging and firing their size 0 payloads. They did find their own targets, which happens in groups. Chaos. So it seems like we took those down really easy, but that was hundreds of points of missiles going into these guys. So that is how cluster missiles work. Hope you enjoy them.